What is going on, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Light News. We're going to cover three quick stories, and this is mostly about my thoughts to the story, though. If you haven't heard about it before, it's a chance for you to figure out what's going on. So, we're not going to take too much time. Let's just jump right into the very first story. So, first up, we got VannDa now seems to be a brand ambassador to Coca-Cola, which is a really cool collaboration, I think, because it marks, first of all, it's a major company in the U.S., based out of the U.S. He's already, of course, a brand ambassador for other companies, but this, I think, is a pretty big step right into getting more international acumen, I guess, just being able to be seen more by other people. Of course, I know him and I'm from the US, but my way of discovering him was through YouTube comments, basically, is you guys let me in on, hey, you should check this guy out. And of course, I went down the VannDa rabbit hole, so to speak, of music, and I've really enjoyed it. But I think he's just not that known yet in the US, right? His name doesn't just come up a lot. So I think this is a really good opportunity. I'm excited to see if this also means that there's going to be collaboration, uh, not attempts, but collaboration projects, I guess, with Coca-Cola in some way that will shine light on him more in international markets, right? I think that would be a pretty cool step, pretty big step for him and his brand. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of it. I just saw this recently in a comment, actually, while I was writing well, I don't really have a script, actually. I literally just have bullet points of the story. So I just saw this as I was trying to figure out what the three stories were going to be. So pretty cool to see. Hopefully he'll be making some new music soon. Of course, he did already drop, pretty big project recently. It's relatively recently, at least in the music world. So we may still have a good bit of time before he drops anything major. But hopefully he drops like a single or something. That'd be cool to kind of see where he's at, especially after all of that stuff that went on, where his music was leaked and everything else. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. You guys tell me what your thoughts on him becoming a brand ambassador to Coke are. All right, so next up we got Kanye West supposedly is getting married or did get married. I don't think he's legally married, but I'll get to that in a second. So it seems to be with a Yeezy architect from Australia, and her name is Bianca Sensori. So I didn't really know about her prior to this news kind of hitting. Of course, Kanye's been kind of under the radar. Even in the last Light News, I said how he had just gone missing apparently for a couple of weeks and popped up in church or something like that. So he's been laying low after the whole controversy, his anti-Semitic remarks, and banned on Twitter, unbanned, and then banned again, and everything else that went on. He's sort of been losing the script a little bit, if I'm being honest. I can't condone anything that he said, which I won't get into really deeply. If somebody does you wrong, you don't identify parts of them and then hate everybody with that part of them. You know what I mean? Whether it's skin color, whether it's religion, whatever. They don't speak for that entire group. Well, you might dislike a specific person. I think he just, yeah. I mean, I think you guys know what my thoughts on that is. He just lost his script, to be honest with you. But he's been laying low from media, from any interviews or anything like that recently. So he just randomly popped up, and apparently he's getting married to that Bianca Sensori woman. So it seems that they had a ceremony of sorts, but they did not have any sort of legal binding, like making it official. So I don't know if you would call that getting married or if it's more of a symbolic thing. But he is highly religious, or at least he says he is. So I would imagine that the legal part of it is coming soon, right? In some form. He may also just think, being religious to him, the ceremony, if it took place in a church or not, is binding enough, right? You don't need to have the legal part in there for it to be a true marriage, right, under Christianity. So I can understand that. Apparently, and I did not know this, he released a song with her last name, Sensori, and it's spelled a certain way, Censori. So he released a song last month called Sensory Overload, which I guess is in reference to her. I didn't hear about the song. I didn't hear the song, obviously. Maybe I'll check it out if it's any good. I don't know. Some of his latest projects have been a little lackluster, to be honest, but maybe I'll check it out, see what it's all about. And obviously, it's referencing her. And then a month later, it looks like they got married. So we'll see where they're going with that, and we'll see if he'll go back to the music in any capacity, really. any true capacity. All right, and the last story we got, I don't have a lot of information on, is YBN Cordae is having a baby with his girlfriend Naomi Osaka, which I believe is a pretty famous tennis player. It's a sport that I don't know much about, so I can't really comment on her. And he's an artist that I don't know much about either. I've heard a couple of songs. I heard his XXL Freshman, and other than that, I haven't really uh, you know dove into his music. I do know he's sort of seen as like a new age lyrical rapper while still blending elements of, I guess, what would you call it, the modern day rap. I just really haven't given him a lot of listens. So yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of him, this is just news for you, basically. But it looks like she's pregnant. They're gonna be having a kid soon, and so yeah, if you're a fan of him, maybe you're excited. I don't know. I don't really know enough about the history between those two to know if it's good or not. But he seems like a decent guy from everything I've seen, so I'm sure it's a solid relationship. And yeah, so that's, I don't have a whole lot of comments on that one. Just you guys let me know if you like his music. I guess maybe I'll listen to a few of his standout singles or something like that. Get acquainted with him a little bit. Part of this news thing is just I guess remembering some artist, you know what I mean? Like, because them being back into the limelight is like, oh, maybe I should check out some of that music. Maybe it'll be some pathways into some reaction videos and that sort of thing, or maybe just even personal listening. Because I am curious about what he's been up to. Because I used to see his name a lot, of course, when he popped out in the freshman, but I haven't heard him recently a lot. So, and maybe I'm just not in those circles of music anymore. And if I'm not, and he has been sort of still ramping up his music. Maybe I got to get back into those circles, right? So, anyway, guys, that's all the stories for today. You guys let me know your thoughts on some of these stories, and what you thought about it. Maybe what you're, especially like with VannDa being a Coke ambassador, right? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Are you excited for it, or does it not really matter? That sort of thing. So, anyway, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your week. Of course, reactions are going to come back Monday as always. I haven't missed one yet. I've kept to my schedule. But I will catch you guys on the next one.